Hello and welcome again to this edition of FI-TV. I'm your host, Brad Swanson. We are coming to you from inside the Florida Capitol during the committee weeks leading up to the 2022 Florida legislative session. We are joined by none other than Representative Fred Hawkins, an old friend of mine and a friend of the show's. Representative Hawkins, thanks for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
All right, we're right in the middle of committee weeks, but a lot's going on. Now, everyone knows you are an education fanatic. You love helping Florida's educational system. Tell us about the aspects that you're touching right now in your roles in the legislature.
So serving on 4 out of the 5 education committees, 2 of probes, 2 that do policy. Florida, we're #1 in the college program. We have very low tuition, #1 ranking by Forbes. We want to be #1 from VPK up to college. And I think with the initiatives we started last year and the bills that were passed, we're well on our way to get there.
Yeah, as a freshman, you really jumped out kind of ahead of the curve because of your past experience. Leadership trusted you. How was your relationship with Speaker Sprowls on these issues, and where do you see his vision going forward?
So, he brought up reading is so crucial, and we know that we're struggling. A lot of our kids are not ready when they come out of VPK going into kindergarten. He started the initiative to change that. I fully support it with the Reading Initiative programs, the New World program for getting books in kids' homes and letting kids decide what they want to read. If a child's interested in what they're reading, they're more likely to succeed. So that program fits, but all his bills really are like one big jigsaw puzzle that fit together, from looking at a task force to the achievement gap between males and females, to the book reading program, to everything that comes together just to make us better. We're going to see this success, and it's going to be a legacy for him for education, I can tell you.
Yeah, so I mean, that comes down to leadership on education, and it's a continued mantra because it really does supply Florida's workforce ultimately, but ultimately it makes Florida a better state. When you think of what's next in education, we know you're passionate about helping people that are disadvantaged, that are having challenges getting to the education. Kind of what's next for Florida's education system?
Right. So it all comes down to funding. We know that, and we have compression for our school districts that aren't the large school districts, but they're not the small. So that formula maybe needs to be tweaked a little bit to make sure it's equitable for everybody, but really making sure that we take care of our teachers. If we don't have good teachers with that passion to be in the classroom, that really affects us. And right now we are at a hiring shortage. We need to do something to inspire the next generation of great teachers, great leaders to come back, educate these kids, because if we don't have good education, good health care, we don't have a good, vibrant state. So we want to make sure that we stay on track for that, and I think we're on that with Speaker Sprowls, Speaker Designate Renner, and I hope to pick up the torch and continue to carry on for education.
Yeah, well, I mean, your passion for education is well known. When you think about those teachers that are called, we think about the varied types of educational formulas we have in the state. They can be called to teaching in the public school system or charter or private. Talk to us about Florida's balance of choices for parents all across the state of Florida.
I'm a firm believer parents should choose the education for their children. Whether that's a charter school, public school, or across the county line even. Big supporter of that. I do have a charter bill right now that's going through that really tells school districts how to make sure we approve these charters in a timely manner, so nobody is left out of the school year with 3 weeks to go like we saw happen in one county. So we want to make sure that those kind of things are decided early enough and give those parents that option to choose. They are the best representative of their children. We want to make sure that it's parents' choice, not guidance counselors or teachers, but working hand in hand in a partnership to make sure our children succeed.
Yeah, well, Representative Hawkins, thanks for all the work that you do in the education space. We know visionary leadership from Speaker Sprowls, and that inspiration travels all the way to the newest members of the Florida legislature like you. You're in your second year, but we know that's not going to stop you from making a difference.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and we just look forward to Florida continue to lead the nation when it comes to all parts of education.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on FI-TV and sharing with us what's going on in education. Appreciate you. Thanks. That's all the time we have for this episode of FI-TV. Make sure you hit us up for more great interviews like this one on our social media feeds. And for now, thanks for tuning in.